To our channel, everyone. So getting ready to have the water tank delivery, and Clear Choice is the company we decided to go with to haul water. So this is day 15 of our off-grid journey, and because of delays we couldn't get water sooner, but we were able to get free water that was provided to us as a blessing. But we are able to get the water tanks installed today. We already had it taken care of, but like I said, because of the delay with the schedule, we couldn't get it done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys some footage and let you see what it's like to have your water haul off-grid.
Hello everyone. So we just got the delivery of our tank in, the black one there, and we already had the pad here for it, so we're going to get it dropped off and going to get it set on the pad here, so that way we have our big tank that we'll be using for the trailer, and then the smaller ones that we have over there are going to be for the garden and the coop and stuff.
Hi, Selena. Good.
I think we'll roll it off and then we'll turn it and we'll flip it. I think we might end up being pretty good if we get it that way. Yeah, so do you want to do me a favor and flip on that side? Yep. And we'll be right here. Yep. Right now it's facing upward. Facing straight up. So if we turn it this way like this, and then yeah, they want to face.
So when you guys are getting your water tanks, the setup will look similar to this.
Trailer out of the way. So let's move those straps real quick.
They're really good at what they do. A shout out to Ann Corona, who has been a support of our channel this whole time, and she's the one that recommended Clear Choice, Selena and Anthony. So thank you, Ann Corona. We love you. God bless you. So it is always a good idea to check the layout of your land first and have these strategic planning of where you're going to have your permanent house, and you want the water tank as close as possible. And we will be getting one, I call it the farmer's
You need me to help you flip it?
water faucet to attach to the water tank so we can get water access easier.
You just kind of hold it and set it down as easy as you can. Okay.
So you do need to be home for this tank delivery as a homeowner. Not only do they need access to your property, but that way you can inspect the tank and make sure that everything's okay with it.
Out the back?
Yeah.
I'll put the valve on.
set this right here. So when they bring a truck, they have a hose that they can just put over.
They'll just put right over here.
I'll see if I
They can back right up here. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'll see if I can clear some of these trees so they can just walk in here and make a little thing on the side here.
Doesn't have to be too much.
Yeah. This is the place to get tanks and totes and all that stuff. So even solar, they do solar too. So here's the on the back of her shirt there. Okay. They're just going to get the valve set up and all that, so that way we can get the water. And these are the better valves to get too. Remember, you were telling me that they're better for the freezing weather.
Yeah, a lot of people go to Home Depot and just get a brass one, but the brass ones, the second it freezes up here, they're gonna crack real easy. These ones can handle freezing and thawing a little bit. I mean, it's
Have
if
a
you put
little
a
more.
box over here, then it won't happen. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I plan on insulating it and all that. There's enough clearance there.
So what is he doing?
He's just putting on the valve so that way when they fill the tank, doesn't drain the whole thing. It's got somewhere to stop it. And then off of that, you see it reduces down to a 3/4 inch, and then we can take that out to
that's actually a hose adapter right there. So you can
you can go
right
straight on there. All right.
You'll be able to open this up and fill your trailer and be set.
Yeah.
You'll get pretty good gravity once you get down to maybe about 400-ish gallons right here. That's probably about where it'll stop flowing real well.
Okay. And then I think your wife was saying a little bit too that you can kind of just feel like the coolness of the water to tell the.
Yep.
They have, I guess, level things that will have an alarm on them or something that you can get for these.
They make ultrasonic levels. They would go through the top of the tank and they would kind of like shoot a little radar rate, beam down there and basically tell where the water is.
Yeah.
We're still kind of being developed and a little finicky. This one right here being black, it'll be hot where there's no water and it'll be cool where there is water.
Okay.
Even on a winter day, because the sun's so strong up here. So
yeah.
You guys wanted hydrogen peroxide in your water for the first fill or sanitizing your tank? Sure.
You can, yeah.
Just so you know, these are opposite threads right here.
Actually, I'm going to leave this off for right now because we did talk about getting the 2,000 gallon water delivery so that way it could just kind of overflow out of it.
Okay, yeah, and then I'll put it on.
And then you can put that on there.
Okay.
Also, we'll have them just remove the 16-inch lid.
That way it overflows. Yep.
All right. So they'll usually just do it from right in here?
Yep.
Just pour it
So
in.
after this first delivery, they'll just use the summer cap to do it.
This one right here?
I'll show you your lid right here.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know, it's got 2 threads on it. So those both have to be lined up in order to get it back on there. And then you got a cap in here. I'll take out.
Okay. That'll go.
Zip tied in there. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't drop it in there. So this is what our guys will take off right here.
Okay.
And it is vented.
Just drop their hose in.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, like I said, if you can see the threads right here, you got a thread right here and right here.
Okay. Oh, line that up. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
It's a little bit of a pain sometimes.
Yeah. Right, just right.
There you go.
So as for any kind of maintenance with these tanks after a certain time, do we have to like drain it out and clean them or anything like that? They're good?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, we highly recommend you put something in your water.
Yeah.
As we saw with the tanker, it's extremely dusty.
Yeah.
That lets air in as you're pulling water out. So it does have the ability to have some dust go in there. So
yeah.
It's always good to sanitize with something.
So
Oils are tested.
Yeah.
But, once the water's here, it's yours. Do what you want with it.
So. Okay.
So if we're going to drink the water, do you recommend boiling first?
No, you shouldn't have to boil.
You guys just straight well water, right?
You put that hydrogen peroxide in there, you're
cleanse it,
good.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people use chlorine. It's just some people don't want chlorine,
Yeah.
There's really personal preference.
Yeah. Good thing is I have a background in that, so I've worked with the chlorine a lot. Yeah, I used to.
Yep.
So
chlorine to 1-2 parts per million, you shouldn't really taste it or smell it too heavy. You start getting 3-4 is the max that you want to be at.
Yeah, it doesn't take much at all.
It doesn't take much.
We used to have 500 gallon buffaloes, and it was the same material like this. And it was just tiny bit to super chlorinate those things.
Yep.
So
you guys are all set.
All right.
Get it filled. My guy that comes and fills, he has a pair of these right here.
Okay.
Hard to test plumbing until you get some water in there.
Yeah.
I put a lot of thread tape on there, and it's pretty close. You do have about 1.5 more spins on there if you need to.
Okay.
But he'll be able to take a look at it and see. I doubt it'll leak at all. So.
Yeah. Okay.
And then just get that cap on the top right there once it starts overflowing.
All right.
Good business. We appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Thank you. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys.
I had to get out of the office and everybody was coming in to buy stuff, and I was like, okay, I gotta get going now.
Starting next Saturday, we're going to be open on Saturdays. So.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yep.
We just hired somebody
6 days a
for the
week.
office.
So.
Okay.
got a real
Sounds
good
good.
balance.
Hey guys, so we got the tank in, and this is a 1,600 gallon tank. The reason you want to try to go a little bit more with the amount of gallons in the tank, instead of going, a lot of people just think, oh, I'm just going to get like a 500 gallon tank or something like that because it's cheaper. But when they deliver water out in these areas, their tanks on their trucks are 1,000 gallons. So if they bring 1,000 gallons out to your house and they're only filling like half of that or something, they'll actually charge you more for than doing the bulk 1,000 gallons. So, you know, you could be paying for like an IBC tote and you're going to pay basically more or about the same price as getting 1,000 gallons. So you might as well go with the bigger tank. And then you want to go a little over the 1,000 gallons, because then when you get down to about 500 on your tank, they could come out and deliver and you still have water in your tank in case, you know, they said when it gets hotter out here, they're behind on their deliveries. So if you have to wait an extra week or two to get your water delivered, you still have a buffer there of that 500 gallons. So that's the reason why we went with this size. Again, yes, it is a little more, but you know, if you think about all those factors, then it's better to just be safe, to have that extra buffer and, you know, not have to pay extra for the water, you know, because trust me, I've learned with trying to cut corners on, you know, going cheaper or something like that. Yes, everybody wants to save money, but sometimes it's better to just spend a little bit more and go with, you know, the better one, because then, you know, you could save in the long run, like I said, with getting the full 1,000 gallons when they deliver. And so that's why we did that. And I wanted to get like maybe a 2,000, but they go from this size. And then if you saw that one green one that they had on the trailer, that was like a 2,500. But when you go with that one, you're paying over $2,000 for it. So that's why we went with this one, because it was kind of like, you know, a happy medium. It's like in the middle, average size tank that most people will get out here because of the amount of gallons and stuff. So now we got this one as our main tank for the living quarters. And then again, we're going to have 3 of those 55-gallon barrels, and I might get a couple more. So if you see on the chicken coop, it's got the lean-to. I'm going to place this and maybe another one on the back there. And that way we can catch some rainwater, and that'll be like extra water for the chickens, for the garden, just, you know, emergency water, whatever we need it for. Still under construction, so so if you see here, I might have to trim it down a little bit, but I try to put the panels more to the front, because I'm going to put a gutter here, and then I'll put the downspout and, you know, a little I think they call it a first flush, where you can flush out any dirt and anything that washes off of the top here. And then going into the tanks, I'll have them elevated so that way we can, you know, get jugs or whatever and put it in there, get the water. And so this roof has a lot of space. This is about just under 8 foot wide by about 10 feet. Got a good amount of roof space where when it rains, you can collect hundreds of gallons of water off of this little thing right here, you know, on a good rain. So whenever you have structures like this on your property, always put barrels behind them to collect that water, because you never know when you might need it as a backup.
Right. With the amount of gallons we have on the water tank and the extra tanks that we're going to be having for water harvesting, and including the pond, we're trying to make sure that we always have enough water on the property.
Yes.
And that's important for us to spend more money getting those infrastructures in, because water, you can go without food for 40 days or longer, but the body needs water. So we want to make sure that when we're spending our money, we want to make sure that we get as much water on our property and always have as much water on our property, because you can't have a homestead without water. You're going to need water for your flocks. You're going to need water for you. So it's not just for your family. You're going to need it for your greenhouse or your garden, whatever you're going to have. So for sustainable living, it's important that we address the infrastructure things. For Michael and I, we're not telling you how to have your homestead, but this is where our thoughts are, and we promise to take you guys on the journey.
This is just to show you an example how I bought these blocks from Home Depot. This paver right here, I believe it's like it might be like a 12 to 16 wide by about 24.
Right.
And you just get 2 of the cinder blocks, and it works perfect as a stand for these. So you don't have to build it out of wood or anything. It's strong enough and it lasts long. And then this type of barrel, you can remove the lid. So you can buy these kind of hose bibs on Amazon, and it's got a rubber gasket on both sides, and then you can reach in there and screw it down, tighten it down, because there are some of these that don't have removable lids, and you're going to find you're not going to be able to get in there. So if you look at this one does have a removable lid as well. But if you buy the ones where it just has these right here and you can't remove the lid, you want to get this kind. So you can't. This is a black rubber, kind of like a grommet. You can also get these online, or I don't know if they have these at Home Depot. I haven't checked. But you drill a hole for that, and then on both sides, if you see, it kind of fits around the plastic on both sides. You can pop it on. Just get like a little bit of I don't know, like Vaseline or something. I think you can kind of something just to lube it up, and you can pop it on, and then that seals around the plastic. And then this is like a 3/4 inch PVC. You basically just do a short nipple off of that side, and then one here, and then you got a male adapter 3/4 inch with your and this will go straight to a hose and your valve. And this just basically, like I said, this pipe, you'll just lube it up and just slides right on there, and it seals, it won't leak. I learned that one from the people that I actually bought this barrel from. They were hooking them up like that. So that's a way, if you can't remove the lid, that's the best way to do it.
Right. And since we're talking about water tanks and barrels, we're kind of still on the same topic here. What about this? What's the difference between this and the other one that's just solid?
No, like
why is this better?
I prefer any metal barrels, plastic barrels, anything you buy, try to get the ones with the removable lids, because if you decide you're not going to use it for water, then you can actually use it for storing food or something like that, so you can remove the lid. But if you're going to use it for water, it's also good because you can remove the lid, and if you need to clean these, if they get dirty, algae, anything like that, you can kind of reach in there and scrub them good. So yeah, that's why I like the ones with the removable lids.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get the other ones cheaper, but you know, you got to think about trying to access the inside of it, and that's why I prefer these kind. And if you see, one of the little ideas I came up with for these, do it all different ways, but this was an idea that I had. Just the sink strainer, because it comes with a big nut at the bottom. You just drill a hole at the center here, or somewhere off to the side, and then underneath a PVC reducer, like a bell reducer type thing, to do this as well. But if you see here on the inside, see, you just make the hole, and then you can tighten it from the other side with the nut that comes with it. And then what I did at our other house, when I had these next to the house off the gutter, see this right here, if you don't want water going in, you just put that in there, and that'll keep the water from going in. And if you want to collect the water, just remove it, just like if you're trying to plug your sink.
Right.
And then you can just run the pipe right to this off of your downspout for your gutters. And I found this was a simple way to do it. And then, like I said, when you're not using it, just plug it right back up, and it works great, because you know, then you can tighten it on there.
That's a great idea.
So, like I said, everybody does it different.
Right. Then there's no wrong way. This is just what we chose for our homestead.